The thing I learned the most is I think savings has been underrated and investment has been overrated. So we all think about, wow, invest, then we enjoy 30% rate of return in S&P 500 from last year, for example. But that kind of 30%, how often do they come by? Once in many years. Therefore, to invest at the right time with the right kinds, it's really hard. And I found most people suffer from that problem is not in having enough critical mass in order to invest. So I would suggest young people begin with your first big paycheck from your full-time job. Begin from the first year. You pay yourself first by investing in a diversified equity stock funds, mutual funds. So mutual funds should be your first friend. But then hopefully it's an index diversified, say S&P 500 or US total markets. And stay with it and put in the money that you can afford, like $25, $250, however much you can afford. That is for your long-term retirement funds. And that money, you are not going to use it until you are 59 and a half. So saving up probably for the first 5 or 10 years is pretty painful. You see how slow it's going to accumulate. But once you reach that critical mass, then it's going to work magic for you. But you have to bear with that first 5 and 10 years. Well, get involved with your company's 401k, and then that's before tax. And then for your after tax, invest in Roth IRA. So these two things, one is before tax, one is after tax. And this money, you can move around and make investments without the consequence of paying more for your tax. Therefore, they are really tax-free for quite some time. And let that part that's supposed to go to tax bills work for you for the next 45 years. Think about how powerful it could get. And once you have enough, you really don't have to think about contributing more. You can think about having your enjoyment and so on. So I think the first few years is pretty tough. In fact, there's an easy way nowadays. It's called the life cycle funds or target date funds. For example, when do you plan to retire? Say, my son, okay, maybe 2055. When I'm getting that kind of 60-some years old, okay, let's just pick 2055. And this fund is going to make that kind of adjustments for you. Every year when you pass the birthday, they are moving 1% from your stock funds to the bond funds without you doing anything. Because that fund is doing that kind of automatic rebalancing through, you see, the fund families have all kinds of funds. They have stock funds, they have bond funds. And for them to move money around, they don't have to worry about buying and selling. Basically, it's allocating to you, that's all. But they really are not doing anything. They really are not buying or selling anything. They basically just give you or take some money out of it and trade with others, basically. So that kind of life cycle funds really give you a very good deal because they think about taxations. They don't want you to suffer from taxation problems. So you see, if you are making that in rebalancing yourself, I have to sell my stock funds. I have to buy my bond funds. And every time when you sell something, you are going to have capital gains bill. And therefore, without getting to buy or sell yourself, that saves you a lot. So a good one. Therefore, many companies now use life cycle funds as the default. You see, they recognize that most people, including scientists, don't have very good ideas about personal investments. So we'll give you a list, but the default is life cycle funds. So pick a year, 2055, and then invest in it. Every year now you are getting more and more bonds and getting less and less stocks. Therefore, the older we are, the more conservative this portfolio is going to become. And that is working for you by design. So you don't have to think about, all right, did I do the right thing? Or did I forget to do anything? You don't have to worry about it.